Well, I don't want to open this one on a downer, but we have to start tonight by paying our respects to one of the greats of all time. Unfortunately, folks, Jim Shooter has passed away this week. We were supposed to see him at Dragon Con in September. A few weeks ago, his team had announced that he was canceling all his upcoming appointments, and that's typically not a good sign. But due to a decline in his health, he has passed away. He's got a lot of work, but he is, of course, most well known as the original author of Secret Wars. So it is going to be very unfortunate that he won't be around to see that come to the big screen. Or if it sucks, maybe it's a good thing. But we had to get that out of the way tonight for sure. We lost one of the greats again.
Yeah, this feels like it happens all too often now that we lose just yet another great comic book creator, another great mind in the comic book industry. Jim Shooter was an interesting character, certainly a pivotal one in comic books. So most people definitely know him, like Caleb said, from creating Secret Wars, like the original one that came out in the 80s, the one that I think it was the first major team-up book for Marvel Comics. And it's crazy because that book, the genesis of that was to just sell a new line of toys. Because I believe at the time Marvel had just signed a new toy line. I don't remember which company it was with, but they really wanted to put out these new action figures. And so things like the Black Suit Spider-Man, which people all obviously know now and associate with the symbiote, things of that nature, man. It all came about from the desire to sell toys, and Jim Shooter being like, okay, I'm going to step in and write this thing. And then he ended up writing one of the most important comic books for Marvel Comics. He was also the editor-in-chief for Marvel Comics for quite a long time. And while he is known as being a very brash individual when it came to his work, no one could deny that he got great results.
Yeah, we've heard quite a few people who were at Marvel when he was editor-in-chief talk about that a lot, about Jim was going to make sure that every book got the attention that it needed and it was going to get out on time, and he really ran a tight ship, and obviously when you run a tight ship, you can't be everybody's best friend.
Yep.
But I mean, Marvel turned out arguably some of the best work they've had during that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So. And also, if that was not enough, he also, I believe he co-founded Valiant Comics. So after he left Marvel, he went and started a whole new line of comic books. So, yeah, he is quite the pioneer in the comic book industry, quite the brilliant mind. I was really looking forward to meeting him at Dragon Con, but unfortunately that won't happen. So, yeah, a homie salute to Mr. Jim Shooter.
Yeah, pour one out.
Yeah, no, not again.
Wait, what do you mean not again?
Unfortunately, we had to do this just not that long ago. I think it was for Peter David.
Yeah.
Who passed away. So, happens all too often. Well, so there are some things happening in the in the world of entertainment that we can get into, but we do have a dinosaur movie to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get into it, right? we might have to have a damn comic news episode next week.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on.
Because we got just to put this out here at the beginning, guys, we're going to be bringing you a special early edition. We're going to be seeing Superman on Tuesday. We do not even have a week left. And we're going to be bringing you guys an early review for that. Hopefully we can get it out to you before the movie actually comes out officially. Very excited for that. Whether the movie is amazing, terrible, somewhere in between, I'm really hyped for us to be able to get that out early for you guys. And, we'll have to do a comic news episode because there's a lot.
There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like you, I am very excited for Superman. Superman should be... like you, man, I'm really hopeful, really hoping that they can stick the superhero landing with that one. Yeah.
You know me, I don't actually like Superman most of the time, but ever since I watched that Christopher Reeve documentary, for whatever reason, I've just been ridiculously hyped for it. I went home and watched the 78 Superman. Nice. And then I watched the second one.
Yep.
The Donner cut.
Yep. Okay. Nice.
I got the Donner cut out there on the Plex now. So I watched that. And then I was like, nah. And then I watched Smallville. I'm on season 2 of Smallville now. So yeah, I'm on kind of a Superman kick right now. And that's weird because I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever had that.
No, I will not be watching Man of Steel because that'll take me right out of it.
In the meanwhile, I probably will watch Man of Steel before the new Superman movie. Did when you watched the 78, because for me, like when I watched it, it didn't get really good until like the 49-minute mark, and that's when Christopher Reeve shows up.
Dylan, you ever seen the 78 Superman movie?
Which one is that one?
It's the one that came out in 1978.
Ace, I stopped myself from messing with stuff just now.
I'm sorry.
Don't make me regret that decision.
It opens with Jor-El, and he's like sending Zod into the Phantom Zone.
I've at least seen parts of it.
And then they send a naked Goku baby Clark Kent to Earth.
And he's like 4 by the time he gets to Earth.
Yeah, he's like a 4-year-old naked child by the time he arrives on Earth.
I vaguely remember that. Okay. I've probably seen it, but I was probably really young. So
yeah. I gotta say, when I watched that movie, I did not enjoy it, and like you said, until Christopher Reeve actually showed up, because holy fuck, man, like, you guys know, like, there's a certain point where they stopped doing this. I think it was in the 80s, but once upon a time, there was just this point where, and it may have been Star Wars that changed this, but old movies would linger on a fucking shot for a long time, because they were just trying to fill up time.
They kind of would.
They were like, well, if we only build 9 sets and we spend 10 minutes on each set, there's our 90 minutes. Right. And we can get out of here.
Oh, no.
And now they need to linger on some things a little more.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Trying to pack too much shit in one thing, like this movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a great lead-in. Proper introductions are in order, and then I'll do the reading of the rules.
That sounds good to me.
I'll be here.
With Dylan. Homies one and all, allow us to welcome you back to another very special episode of the Superhero Homies podcast, the Jurassic Edition. My name is T-Rex Q, and as always, I am here with none other than Triceratops Caleb, the world's greatest dinosaur host.
What up?
What you choose for me will tell a lot.
And we're also here joined with that long neck, having ass brontosaurus Dylan. And he wears his tie at the base of the neck and not at the top of it.
Always. Not what I thought would be picked, but I'm not angry. Yep. Also, I will not be here for the Superman review. He said we a lot. I just wanted to make sure that was a...
Yeah, it's actually going to be the two of us, and the homie K will be with us for that one.
That's right.
Yep. So that being said, if this is the first time tuning in for a movie review with us, have no fear if you haven't seen the movie. The first half of this review will be spoiler free, and then we will dick around a little bit. And trust me, you'll have plenty of ample opportunity to skedaddle on out of here if you care about spoilers. And then after that, we will go full tilt into all of the spoilers for this movie tonight, Jurassic World Rebirth.
What a movie to start watching this to.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I think about that, right? Like, for the people, because we're on all the video platforms now, we have such a wider reach than we did back when it was just you and Kevin, and it was actually like an intellectual show, like a thought-provoking podcast. But now it's us, and I'm on here saying wild shit, and he reins me in, and occasionally other people join us.
Like so when Superhero Homies and entertainment just like did the fusion dance together is what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I feel like if you watched, like for someone who started on episode 1, which was a Thor episode, in-depth Thor episode that talked all about the character and his various appearances throughout the comics and
kind of cool.
media and all this stuff. Yeah, good listen. I mean, especially for a first episode, they did really well. And then if you like, I guess,
and now we've done the holiday special.
Yeah, if you like stopped watching this show for a while and came back around the holiday special or now,
like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, you'd be like, what? Or you tune in for the 500th episode and it's like Mistborn and you're like, what the fuck?
The fuck?
What happened?
Yeah.
I want you to know that a new Cosmere book dropped yesterday, and I could be at home reading it right now, but I am here for the homies.
Yeah, to talk about this dinosaur movie.
That's right.
I can't think of another place you'd rather be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's kick it off. What are you guys' kind of overall thoughts on the movie? Spoiler free, of course.
Please, Dylan, enlighten us.
You seem like you'd like to go first. You piped up immediately.
It was involuntary. At the same time, look at you guys go.
That's been a theme today.
You've been really like matching people.
I'm just vibing.
So, my overall thoughts were this definitely was a Jurassic movie. It had dinosaurs, and I watched it.
I like how your response is like if someone hadn't seen the movie at all.
Yeah. If someone's like, "What's a Jurassic Park?" and Dylan's, his summary really breaks it down.
It's like when they interviewed Bucky at the beginning of Thunderbolts, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm very worried about this very worrying issue, and we need to. We are worried about it."
Much like you were telling me on the way over here, I have definitely seen worse movies, right?
With dinosaurs in them.
Yeah, I've also definitely seen better movies.
With dinosaurs
with dinosaurs in them.
That might sum up the whole...
Well, that's going to be it, folks. So,
yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
That's kind of... I can't really say much else without starting a rant. That needs to be on the second half.
Second half rant. Hey, so what about you?
Oh, boy. Yeah, so Jurassic World Rebirth, it manages to... be better than the previous 2 entries of the Jurassic franchise. So do with that information what you will. However, it still somehow it also manages to be a completely pointless movie all at the same time. So it's kind of impressive how it's better than the previous 2, but just completely. It's just such an irrelevant movie. Like, this is the epitome of a popcorn flick. Like, I damn near ate all my popcorn, and I never do that.
That's true, actually. I was stealing a piece here and there, and that bag was almost empty.
Yeah, popcorn was also my dinner tonight, though.
That's not healthy.
Well, it makes me do this.
I don't think it does.
It does.
I don't think eating popcorn for dinner does that directly.
It absolutely does. But, no, I thought that this movie was, I want to say that it's fine, that it's serviceable, but truth be told, I don't really think it's that either. Because for however much this movie cost, it definitely wasn't cheap. It's just such a forgettable movie with its bland, damn near video game objective checklist.
Fuck, you're right.
and its characters that are just, I mean, one note is maybe too strong a word to describe them, honestly. Like, I was so disinterested in majority of them. There were like 2, at times 1.5 characters I was interested in. But anyway, we'll get there when we get there. But no, overall, I just thought this movie was just... This would have been completely fine to watch in the background at home if I'm doing something else.
Ironically, that's how I watched the 2 before this.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I definitely think this movie is way better than the last two entries, which is shocking because the most recent entry, which is Jurassic World Dominion, was the one where I was like, oh, they're finally going to do this thing that we've been wanting them to do, which was like what they've been teasing since the first Jurassic World, and really even Jurassic Park 3, was showing us a world where these dinosaurs just exist. And ironically, this movie actually, while not great, does a way better job of that than the movie that promised us they were going to do that. However, it has a lot of problems. It is very much like you said, it is a summer blockbuster. It is not designed to be thought-provoking. There's a couple moments in this script where you're like, oh, okay, but they're really like ham-fisted in there. It's like somebody read it and was like, oh, this is just a bunch of bullshit. And they were like, get on ChatGPT and find some thought-provoking things we can say. And they just kind of, they're thrown out there. I mean, it's important to remember that other than the first Jurassic Park, and I think even the first Jurassic Park was very similar to like a Dune situation where, we talked about, what's the main character?
In Dune?
Yeah, my brain is...
Paul.
Yeah, Paul Atreides. How he was supposed to be like this kind of villainous figure. And then, they released the second book to sort of hammer that in because the audience didn't really get it. And I feel like Jurassic Park was the same way. Like, Jurassic Park was supposed to be about the nature of corporate greed. But everybody was just like, oh, these fucking dinosaur effects are amazing. And look, Ian Malcolm is hot as fuck. And, and they didn't really get it. And so, like, in Lost World, they just made it real evident. The engine guys are bad. The corporate guys are bad. And I feel like the people who make these movies miss the mark because there's something really ironic about the seventh movie milking a franchise that's about corporate greed.
Wow. Yeah. You hit on something earlier about how this movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, it actually explores the elements of dinosaurs living in the world with humans, how it does that more successfully than the previous entries, which hinted at it more. But I mean, if we're being honest, like we get like what, one scene?
Oh, right, but it still was, it was still better than.
I mean, and it just seemed like this is just a nuisance,
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, so that's what happens if we live with dinosaurs. Like, there's just more traffic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is it wrong?
Just more traffic? I think that's a little off. I'm like, man, damn, man, I can't make it into work, bro, because pterodactyl tore the roof off my house.
That's all. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I was stuck on the 10 for like an hour because a fucking Triceratops made it out there.
Right.
And we was waiting forever for him to frogger his ass across the street.
Yeah, another semi got toppled over for like all the fruits and vegetables it was carrying.
That's valid.
I hate when that happens. One thing that I will say about this movie, I was worried we might get into a Fan-4 situation because the cast looked so good on paper, and it's not quite that. It's a far cry from that film. But I will say that they could have gotten lesser actors to play these characters for the most part.
With that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it wouldn't be a summer blockbuster unless you had actors in this thing whose name value would put asses in seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know you probably don't care about this, but Christopher Bailey's American accent bothers the shit out of me. I don't like it at all.
Which one was he, the guy with the glasses?
Yeah. Is that Dr. Is it Loomis?
I think that was his name.
Man,
I know his first name was Henry.
Yeah, because I think it was Loomis. Because when I heard that, I think of the doctor from Halloween.
Yeah.
Myers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Henry Loomis.
That bugged you?
His American accent bugs me, yeah, because he's very British, and I'm used to his British accent, especially in Wicked, and so he's the prince. It's the same guy.
Is he really? Damn.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's the same guy.
Wow.
Yeah, they put some glasses on him and were like, talk like an American. And he just, I thought he did a great job. He was the one I was the most excited to really see in this, and I thought he did a great job.
I like his character for the most part.
But his American accent, it just sounds wrong coming out of him.
Okay.
It's kind of like Charlie Cox's actual British accent.
Yeah.
when
you shouldn't talk like that. You're Daredevil. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing here? Yeah.
We can kind of go ahead and get into some of the characters here. So we have obviously Scarlett Johansson. She is the main character, and she plays Girly McGuns.
Oh God,
is she the main character?
She's definitely the lead.
Yeah, she's the star power of the movie for sure.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I whenever you said that, sorry, I just was like, who the fuck is the main character in this movie?
It's an ensemble, but I think it's definitely her. She's
definitely one of the top, if not the top. I'll agree with that. I just got like sidetracked.
She's got to have the most lines and the most screen time, I would say.
Yeah, and you know, like you guys just said, this is an ensemble film. I use quotation marks around ensemble just because, like, the plot really isn't strong enough to support this being an ensemble movie.
Yeah.
You know, but there are a lot of characters in this. Yeah, boy, I can't wait to get more into that in the spoiler film section.
Yeah, because half the cast is a spoiler, so we really can't talk about some of that until the second half.
Yeah.
But what you've seen in the trailers, I mean, ScarJo here is lowest common denominator. She's kind of that character that she has some quips, but ultimately she's a plot device. I mean,
I did not notice for obvious reasons. Was the GIF that you sent, was it actually in the movie? Because I made the joke to him that it wasn't. Okay.
It was. And also for, I think, about the first 6 minutes or so that they're actually on the mission, the camera is about here. And a lot. And I surely, you know, when Gareth Edwards was directing this, which I didn't know until yesterday he was directing this, you know, I'm sure he must have noticed that, like, oh, you know, her face is up here. So I don't know what he was trying to do there. I'm sure that there's some artistic value in it that is just beyond me, though. You know,
because like the whole essence of it is like it's a metaphor, Caleb. Because like to be focused on what's in front of you instead of like the dangers of the background.
I see.
Yeah, this is really
so you zoom right in.
You zoom in, and you get to see the characters strong.
Center of gravity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how they're so grounded.
I see. See, I told you I'd get there. I told you I would get there.
And you did. Yeah. How you doing over there, Dylan? You all right?
I'm just seeing how other people explain anime plot. Big old plot.
Yeah, they were just like, it's like the cinematographer at least was just like, well, since these are back,
yep,
we'd like to get them on camera as much as possible. Hey, I'm not mad at it at all. I was thoroughly entertained.
You know, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but man, like Dylan said some of the funniest shit, and I don't even know if you realized it.
I did not.
Okay, well, it was at a point in the movie, I won't say when, but you know, our characters are trying to squeeze through a certain area.
Oh, I do.
And like obviously none of them can, and it's like Scarlett Johansson technically she should be able to make it through there. She's not a big person, you know. And Dylan just goes, man, she just suck her titties in, she'd be able to slide through.
What's really funny is in that exact same moment, I leaned over to Jamie and went, girl, you ain't gonna get those through there.
I just never heard somebody say suck your titties in so you can like imagine being a theme park attendant, you trying to buckle up some people and you're like, ma'am, could you just suck your titties just suck your titties in right quick so we can get you strapped in.
I'm fucking crying.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right, well, we made it a good 24 minutes before, you know.
Before we went completely off the rails.
Yeah,
look, I gotta mix it up every now and then. I can't keep you guys thinking I'm just gonna fucking not be talking about titties every now and then.
So we also, we had like a third lead here. We have Mahershala Ali. Man, you know what? The whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, Mahershala Ali, that guy. Somebody should cast him as Blade.
Ooh, you think so?
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing if they made.
I can see that
if they made a Blade movie with him as as Blade. I know you were really hoping for it, but I just think he would be.
Yeah, if
a good backup.
Yeah, like if I couldn't get the role, then I can see him.
Obviously, because you're too busy.
Perfect understudy. Understudy. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just in case, they wanted you to be like T'Challa or something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, which is what they're really gunning for me to do. You know?
So
right, Marvel.
I actually heard that they were actually looking at Dylan for that.
For
T'Challa.
They should not be.
as the new one.
No, I don't want that. The fandom doesn't want that.
There
are many problems
It's between
with
him
that.
and Ryan Gosling.
Oh no.
For the new casting.
Oh. Goddamn.
So I don't know if you know the joke, but there's a white T'Challa now in the comics.
Well, there's a white Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's wrong and weird. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now I am curious though, right? I'm not saying I want this, but out of the two he just said, which would you pick? Me or whoever the fuck you just said.
So listen, and don't take this the wrong way at all.
I can't physically.
Okay, good. This is good then. I'm choosing you, but just because I'm not gonna enjoy the movie, so I might as well get a good laugh. And
you know what? I respect it.
I can't imagine a greater laugh than seeing Black Panther fully suited up and just doing some of the most badass action sequences, taking out a whole squadron of people trying to steal vibranium, and then he takes the helmet off and it's Dylan.
Yeah.
And then it's this, because the glasses aren't going to fit on. Then I pull out glasses and I just go, all right.
Hey, guys.
And there's no attempt at any kind of accent whatsoever.
No, it's just this. It's just this. What's up, guys?
Who brought all these cameras?
I break the fourth wall constantly.
Constantly.
They eventually accept the takes because they can't keep rolling. They're just like, we got to take it.
So that being said, though, somebody should cast him as Blade. But what do you think about Mahershala Ali here?
So I actually thought that he tried. Like he tried to input a lot more pizzazz into this character than what was written for it. He really, he tried to add some spice to this character. But like I said earlier, all of the characters here are pretty one note. And honestly, like the 1.5 characters that I did like, probably have to talk about them in the spoiler section. I mean, as far as like what we see in the trailers here, like those characters, they're paper thin. And I think that like his character is one, like all of the main characters, they're all plot devices. Like, and he's just another one. Like and you get this from the trailers, he is the one who they need to pilot the boat to get to the place, to do the things. And, he's got a special set of skills, and Scarlett Johansson has her special set of skills, and old buddy boy from Wicked who has the accent, he's got a very very particular set of skills, and then there's the benefactor who also has a very particular set of money skills.
What was that guy?
Yeah, who was that?
Rupert Friend. Which sounds like a villain if I ever heard a villain name.
Let me see his non-actor.
He looks like a grown-up Morty.
How does he look more villainous in a normal picture?
He looks like a grown-ass Morty.
To me, he always looked like Orlando Bloom.
He does.
A little.
Yeah.
He looks like a villainous Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
What else has he been in?
The Phoenician. He was in the Hitman movie.
Okay.
He was in the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. Oh, holy shit. He was in
He's
some.
in a lot.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was apparently in the Obi-Wan show.
What the fuck?
Oh fuck! He plays the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh.
Yeah, he does. He plays the Grand Inquisitor in that. I'm pretty sure.
Well, damn.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that that's who he is, but
Find him.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. This is what I do.
Do the thing.
You're stressing them out, Dylan.
Good.
Yeah, I can't do the thing if you're watching. Jeez.
Meanwhile, random dinosaur trivia. Dylan, go.
All
All right, that's enough of that.
Wow.
I was gonna do it as like let me think of something, and then I just had too much fun doing it. I mean, if you want me to actually fill some bullshit with dinosaur random stuff, the giant pterodactyl-ish thing, incidentally, that was a real bitch to get in Ark, because there's one of those. And they also, we always pronounced it differently than old buddy with the accent. So that kind of bugged me for part of the movie. I always like said it differently. And now I can't remember how the fuck to say the word. But it being a bus on wings is really true, because you could always, you could build platforms on that thing and like have a mobile base.
Yeah, I played a shit ton of Ark.
Also,
I have like 1,100, 1,200 hours on that shit.
Jesus.
I no longer let myself play it because it is one of the few games that I rage quit. Legitimately.
Really?
I had lost my stuff. I tried to get it back a few times, and then I left a Discord call with my friend and shut the game down.
Ooh.
Yep, he played him in the live action Kenobi show. He was the Grand Inquisitor.
That's kind of cool.
You didn't recognize him because he's under all those prosthetics and shit.
Yeah.
We also played in a PvP server, so
Yeah,
that'll do it.
Yeah.
we had a private server, and the big ass bird in this movie, the it's just called a Quetzal in the game, but
Quetzalcoatl or whatever.
yeah, but I forget what the actual bird is, like with the actual, but yeah, it's just they just shorten it to Quetzal, but you actually it's the only flying dinosaur in the game that you can build a base on it. You can have like a mobile aerial base.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I think you have to use it to to be able to catch one or two other flying things or something. I don't remember.
It's the easiest way.
Yeah.
What does the dinosaur think about that? Jeez.
Well, you have to it's very very difficult to tame one of these in Ark, because you have to typically the easy way is to find one, and then it's a 2-person job. So like you would get on your pterodactyl and you pick me up, you have me by the shoulders, and then we fly after this thing and I shoot it. And every time I shoot it, it goes, oh fuck, and runs. And it doesn't go in a straight line. It'll turn and it's fast. And so we have to do that for a while. And every now and then your bird is going to run out of stamina. So like you have to set me down and then land, and then we have to watch and not lose track of it. And then you just repeat that process. And sometimes it could take 50 trank darts to take one down. And then there's a new problem, because you're on a fucking dinosaur island. So wherever this thing lands, there's probably going to be shit there that wants to eat it and you. So it's a whole process.
I did it solo because I'm dumb.
Well, you know where it's not hard to tame a dinosaur. We'll talk about that in the spoiler field section.
Yeah, actually. Did you almost mess up, or?
No.
Oh, okay. No accidental spoilers?
Yeah, no. All right.
Just going to keep between you, me, and the camera.
That's right. That's really about all we can discuss for the main cast. Ironically enough, I mean, there's more people here. You may or may not care about them, but you know.
By the end of the movie, I didn't.
It's kind of hard.
I tried.
Yeah, so the dinosaurs here in this movie, I guess Hollywood figured that they needed to spice things up a little bit. First of all, they need to continue to find ways and or reasons for people to keep fucking with these goddamn dinosaurs.
I really don't know. I don't mean to keep cutting off, but like, I really don't know why this keeps happening.
Yeah, it's inexcusable at this point.
I gotta say this while I'm thinking about it, but one of our biggest complaints about Dominion, the previous movie, was the score, and I was very happy that they did exactly what we told them to do in this movie. It was like, just take the original John Williams tracks and play them shits.
I hated the score here.
You hated the whole thing?
He told me as such.
Wow, I actually really enjoyed the score here.
I thought it was overbearing. I thought it felt out of place. It didn't fit the tone of this movie.
Oh, there's absolutely places where they're just like, which track from the Jurassic Park soundtrack can we play right here? And we're like, well, none of them really fit. It's like, pick one.
Yeah.
But there were also times where I thought, okay, this is actually well done. So.
And I'm in the middle.
Yeah, like for me, it felt like every time that like a score would kick up. I'm like, this flat ass moment doesn't deserve any of this, and it just felt so unearned. And then on top of that, it felt like it wasn't there to support the moment. It was there to make the moment something good.
It was the moment.
Yeah, like it almost was the moment. And then on top of that, again, like when you watch Jurassic Park, there's a different tone of that movie compared to this movie. Like they do not feel like they're in the same universe. And so like hearing the score and the Rebirth here, it just didn't feel like it was.
And the at least one scene where it feels like a cheap copy.
There's
Can't say the scene yet, but
there's a couple like I actually think that this while you may think like that Jurassic World is the movie that is the most attempt to be shot for shot to Jurassic Park, it's actually this movie. Mm-hmm. Like they tried really, really hard to go, okay, and don't get me wrong, this is what I wanted them to do. They just failed.
Which is shocking.
They sat down and like it's like they watched Jurassic Park and just wrote, okay, this is what people would like about this scene. Okay. And it's like they did that for the whole movie, and then they were like, all right, let's just take all of that and let's come up with a reason for these people to go to Dinosaur Island and go. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, there are very few times that it works. I will say that Jurassic Park had, more than any other film, this incredible mix of wonder and also fear. This movie, I think, does a pretty good job with the fear. Like, at times, there's times where they miss the mark, but the wonder, nah. And maybe it's just because, we're how many years into seeing CGI dinosaurs? I mean...
See, I'll say, because this isn't really spoiler, I'll say the CGI dinosaur thing, I think they did an okay job. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, the CGI itself looked great.
Yeah.
By probably, the halfway point, I leaned over to you and was like, I don't even care anymore about the suspense scene.
Yeah, and, Dylan, you brought up a really good point, like, during the viewing. And
I do that a lot.
and I feel the exact same way, and that is the dangers that are presented here in this movie. You're just unfazed by it, by the 45-minute mark,
That's the exact thing I was talking about just now. Yeah,
And I mean, there's only so many, however many moments you guys can think of when like a protagonist is hanging on and then they narrowly escape being eaten. That happens probably a couple dozen times. Like it's constant. It is constant.
Dude, you might be right. Actually, I was like, is it that many?
It's a lot.
And then I started from the start and was like, oh.
and the wild thing is, it's like it's not ineffective. But they made it ineffective by how many times they went back to the well with that.
It is very much we go here and do the thing. We go here and do the thing. We go here and do it's very, very methodical.
What did you call it? Video game objective?
Yeah.
Very that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I will say this, though, that I thought that the pacing was pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to say that the 2 hours flew by, but there wasn't really a point where I was just like, God, I want to get out of here. I mean, I didn't get to that point. So
I'll agree with that.
I'm not going to say I was completely checked out, but I was ready to go.
By the end of it, I was like, all right, so that's enough.
It's just one of those things where it's like, like we already mentioned, it does feel like a video game. The issue is that, like, those type of objectives are good for a video game. In a movie, it just feels like, if it's not in, like, a 45-minute episode of television, then I really don't want to see it in a 2-hour movie,
It would be fine if they started with that thing and then pivoted to something.
Yes.
But and that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. But it didn't. They were just like, roll credits. And I was like, oh,
we got it.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Huh.
I didn't even see any level up menus or skill trees. Yeah. Felt gypped. I was going to put some more points into Scarlett Johansson doing Black Widow shit.
Which she does.
Yeah, what she does. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is incredibly strong for a woman of that stature.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of, this movie is where I realized how tall she was.
Yeah, Dylan leans over. He goes, "Is she really that short?" I said, "Yeah, I think she's like 5'1" or 2." Yeah.
I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because like Colin Yost is is kind of a tall guy.
Yeah.
And so the two of them next to each other look hilarious.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Not to sidebar us here, but there was quite a. It was a pretty funny meme or a post that someone made on social media, and it was about Yelena versus Natasha, Black Widow versus Black Widow, and they were like, "Wow, so they replaced Natasha with like just this other Black Widow, and like this short chick wouldn't be able to do any of this," and then they were like, well, if you look at the heights, and then they posted the heights, and Florence Pugh, I think they said that she was like 5'2" 3/4 quarters, and Scarlett Johansson was 5'2" even.
Yeah.
They're like, so actually,
I actually watched Thunderbolts last night, and so I kept thinking about Black Widow as I was watching this. You know,
I watched it whenever we watched it for the thing, and I also kept thinking about it.
Yeah.
This entire.
So it wasn't because I just watched it
No,
yesterday.
that might have helped, and you might have thought about it a little more. But especially at the start of this, I was like, oh, so like Black Widow is just in this movie.
Yeah. Let's see. We kind of talked a little bit about the action here. What else do we want to say about the action?
I think it's got some good action scenes in it. A lot of them are. I think a lot of the best action scenes are earlier in the movie. And I don't know if that's just because of diminishing returns, because of, like you said, where we go somewhere and then the things happen, and then we go another place and those same things happen.
Right.
And, maybe it's like by the end of the movie, you just don't really care. And then, we've touched on kind of a thing way later in the film that we just don't give a fuck about, and we'll get there. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, man, I think that it's got some good action scenes, but I don't know that there's anything that just where I was just like, this is absolutely stellar, blew me away, that kind of thing.
I want to take a second here to talk about superhero homies. We, the thing about this is that if you go to the link below, you can get all your superhero homie merch and all that. And this definitely isn't a segue into product placement, which this movie definitely does not do. There is certainly zero product placement that is noticeable in Jurassic World Rebirth. You will not want to have any Snickers or M&Ms or Lay's potato chips from watching
or Twizzlers
or Coca-Cola from watching this movie, or Dr. Pepper.
But I actually didn't. This is a random fucking thing. It's off the rails, but like apparently, I'm not a Dr. Pepper person. But like, if you ever like met a person who's a Dr. Pepper person, they're about that shit.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Pepper is so good that both Coca-Cola and Pepsi will bottle it. Like there are places where Pepsi sells it and places where Coke sells it.
Oh
Shit,
damn.
really?
Yeah, I did not know this until the other day, and I was like, the fuck.
Well, that is random.
Yeah, because I actually saw it in a Coke machine, and I was like, isn't Dr. Pepper a Pepsi thing? And it's like, nah, they actually both will distribute it. Yeah.
That's wild.
I thought it was Coke.
Yeah, I was like, motherfucker. Yeah, because, well, Coke has Pib, see?
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought that Dr. Pepper was a Pepsi thing.
Oh.
But apparently, Coke's like, we make Pib, but, hey, we all know this shit is better,
Right.
and so we'll sell it.
Is Dr. Pepper a Pepsi product?
I don't think so. I think it's their
It's
own
just its
shit,
own thing?
and they just both will distribute it.
That
Yeah.
is bonkers.
Yeah, I know. I was like, damn, man. They never took the crack out of that shit, apparently.
Just a solo giant.
Yeah.
The fuck were we talking about?
Sorry, the product placement got me the Dr. Pepper, and
It worked. It product.
I have a Coca-Cola shirt on.
What else do we want to say in the spoiler-free section?
I mean, I will say this. I thought Gareth Edwards, like, I think there are some great shots in the movie, just cinema-wise. Like, he knows how to shoot the stuff. It's just sometimes the stuff isn't that interesting that you're shooting. There's only so many ways you can shoot it,
Here's the crazy thing, right? Like, my inevitable score for this movie would be way better if this were the movie that we had gotten instead of back in 2015 Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Like if that trilogy if that trilogy had never come out and we had just gone years and years and years and then we finally got this movie, I would be like, oh, I would probably feel the same way about Rebirth that I do about Jurassic World, which is, it's it's not as good as the original, but this was fun. But now that we have had that trilogy and now Rebirth, I'm just like, if you don't have anything interesting to say or do, then why make it?
I will say, money. Yeah, you're correct. I will say that I like the characters in this movie way fucking better than I liked the characters in the World trilogy. Because, like, they were just... I mean, these characters are mostly one-dimensional. But, like, those characters weren't even characters. I mean, I can't tell you a single fucking thing. I can't even tell you their goddamn names for Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Chris Pratt's character, the little girl. The only character that I know from the Jurassic World trilogy, which is the only character in it, is a fucking CGI raptor named Blue.
Yeah. So Chris Pratt was Owen.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I continue anything else?
Okay. Oh, and I think Bryce Dallas Howard was Claire.
Claire, that's right.
Yeah.
She was Claire. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Vincent D'Onofrio was a raptor trainer.
See, the reason why that's a bad example, I just saw Rebirth. I don't know their fucking names.
I also just saw it. I forgot Owen.
There's Zora, and yeah. And you would and Duncan. Mahershala Ali.
Who the fuck is Duncan?
Yeah, I was like, who was Duncan?
Yeah. But I just gotta say though, like I like these characters more than those characters. But it's a low fucking bar. I mean, if they made a trilogy out of this, I have a hard time imagining it being worse than the one we just got. But once again, that bar is in hell.
Mm-hmm. But see, for me, it's not just a quality thing. It's a quantity thing.
Absolutely.
As well. It's like I feel like I'm being just bombarded now with these movies. It would be like if Marvel continued on and they just had nothing to say. If they had nowhere to go, no real stories to tell anymore.
Hey, bro, you down for Ant-Man 6?
yeah, Ant-Man Sense, the ant colony. Like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like we're getting here with these Jurassic movies, where it's like a few movies ago, they did present an interesting premise that they didn't have the balls to explore. And now we're here at Rebirth, and they still don't have the balls to explore that premise. The premise of what humanity would be like if we really had to live amongst the dinosaurs. And it's something that they brought up, something that the people who made all of these movies really wanted to explore or pretended that they did.
Yep.
And here we are, and they just brushed past that shit.
Ant-Man 6 would be called Quant, but the A-N-T is all caps.
Oh, no.
Quant,
Jesus Christ.
It'd be like Fanforstic, but for Ant-Man.
I almost forgot what I was going to say because of that. I had to just put my head down for a second. What would you... Let's do like an alternate universe thought process here,
okay.
Right? All right. Imagine that instead of the World series, right, the Jurassic World series, we got same names or whatever, same name of the first one, but it was a post-apocalyptic where they're trying to survive or even try to find a way to like taking out multiple dinosaurs because they've just fucked us. Mm-hmm. You think that would do better?
Absolutely, because it's different.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with like at the end of Jurassic Park 3, the pterodactyls get off the island.
Yeah,
and
which is bad enough.
The idea there was like, oh hey, we're gonna continue this theme of the whole life finds a way, and it's like not only are they not going to be contained to the park, they're not going to be contained to this island, and we all thought that the theme Jurassic, like the name Jurassic World implied that we were going to get something like that, where it's like, okay, now these creatures just exist everywhere. And they spent 3 movies taunting us with that concept and never paid it off. You know?
Yeah, one of the biggest sins of that, it's like they got cold feet, you know? It's like when you're talking to a new chick and then you over deliver on what you can do, and then it comes time to do the deed and you're like, you're gonna get just this normal average. maybe next time. That's what happened here with these Jurassic World movies.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
Well, should we score this thing in?
I got one more thing.
Oh, you got one more thing? All right.
Yeah, it's just a small little gripe that I can go ahead and get out of the way here. I know Ace and I were of the same mindset on this, but this movie wasn't that funny.
Oh, it wasn't. The people who, well, you got to think, this is a Wednesday night, so the middle of the week. The people who are here are probably diehard fans of the franchise, so they're going to eat up whatever this movie has to put out regardless, you know?
I'm actually going to disagree. I actually thought this movie was pretty funny. Like, I'm not going to say... I think maybe I will give it the benefit of better than half. So I'll say 55% of the humor landed with me. And then the other 45 fell very flat. I think it's probably the funniest. Maybe Lost World is probably the funniest of them just because Jeff Goldblum is fucking hilarious. And it's really all that movie had was Jeff Goldblum's charisma.
Yeah.
Like, all right, here we go, Jeff. Action. He's like, I don't even have a script. Yeah. Just, do things. I have to disagree with you guys on that. I thought it had some pretty fucking hilarious moments.
No, I think there was for me, there was 2 times where I chuckled out of all of the many attempts they made it in this movie to make me laugh. And for me, a big part of it is if I don't connect with the characters, then I can't be immersed in the moment. I can't laugh. Like, I don't think it's funny. Because like what you're doing right now isn't something that this character would do because there is no goddamn character. It's just a thing in the movie that's supposed to get a chuckle. And I don't know, it just like most everything else besides the dinosaurs, it just felt cheap.
For me, I think maybe somewhere between a quarter and a third of the jokes landed. I think I laughed a little more than you, but every time I laughed, I kind of felt that same thing. I was just like, you got me because it happened to be a funny one-liner. That's it.
Yeah.
It didn't land for me that much. And like, I think we are in the minority on that because almost the entire audience around us was fucking dying. And I was just like, really?
Yeah, I'll say the theater we were in really loved this. They applauded at the end.
Well, it's like I said earlier, like, this is a Wednesday night. The people who are here are fans of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean...
But he had the best rebuttal to that on the way over.
Oh, yeah, because you're talking about the I've clapped for things?
That part, but the last bit you said, I forget if you said Stormlight or Mistborn.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I felt kind of like I did when I went to watch Five Nights at Freddy's. I sat through... Now, that movie was dog shit, right? Mm-hmm. I sat through this terrible movie, and then at the end, the place erupted. And then I was like, He was like, that's got like a cult following or whatever. And I was like, I get that. And like, they were just happy their thing got made. And I was like, these people like dinosaurs. They were happy their thing got made 7 times. I was like, but no, if like the Mistborn movie comes out and it's dog shit, I'm not gonna clap at the end. I'm gonna probably audibly boo. You're just gonna hear boo. Like
I said, you'd probably just hear like a really loud fuck.
Yeah, it would have like a build up to it, like a fuse.
And that is fair. I guess the difference is like that has a direct source material, right? Whereas like there is no Jurassic World Rebirth movie starring these people.
I'm glad that you bring that up because this has completely slipped my mind. There is actually source material for these movies. There's 2 novels by Michael Crichton.
Right.
There is Jurassic Park, which they kind of stuck to in the original movie. And then there is Lost World, which is amazing, but the movie is not about it at all.
I hate that.
It's not even really in the ballpark of it. There are elements that they have tried to mine from that they used in this, and one of those was kind of like the genetic experimentation aspect. But that's such a fucking nothing burger in this. They might as well not have done it, you know.
Do you know if the source material is worth reading?
Yeah, I think they're
I'm
excellent.
gonna have to look into that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bestseller before it was a movie.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean that kind of normally makes the movie, so I get it. Yeah.
It's wildly different, but like, you know, I think that the sequel is really good too. Like a lot of people are like, oh, okay, are we really gonna do this again? The sequel, like the Lost World book, is actually tremendous. But Michael Crichton was like, okay, well that's it. I told the story I want to tell, and you know Hollywood doesn't have that shit.
Yeah.
Props to him.
Yeah, they got nothing. So.
Well, now I think it is time for us to go ahead and do our score before we mosey on to the spoiler field section.
All right, Dilly, you went
faster
first.
than I thought we would get there. Okay. Oh shit, I'm not good. I was not mentally prepared. Score. Fuck. What was the? I don't want to score it too low. I need to remember what my last one was. You know, honestly, I think I'm just gonna give this one a 5. Just to like. You both saw me. There were definitely a few moments where I was very frustrated with this movie, and I was just like, "No, would you?" But it wasn't anything that had lasting anger with me, and there were a few scenes that I did rather enjoy. So it kind of balanced itself out for me. Like, I don't regret watching this movie. Not that I normally regret watching movies with you guys anyway, because no matter what, it's fun.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm sitting next to Ace. If it's a really bad movie, I'll just fuck with him the entire time. So yeah, a 5 flat. Just, it's there.
Yeah, this movie is not, despite how you guys may think I feel, it's not all bad, right? Like, again, it is better than the previous 2 Jurassic World movies, so do with that what you will. This movie has some interesting action in it until it's not anymore. It's got some pretty unique take on dinosaurs, to the point where, mild spoiler, you could argue that these aren't even fucking dinosaurs anymore. I wish that they had higher stakes in this movie. By the time I got to the end of the movie, I mean, well before that point even, I was just kind of watching to see what kind of visual eye candy I would get next. Like, there was just not enough tension there or stress on the plot for the characters for me to be worried about anything happening, really.
What plot?
But again, like, it's not all bad. I think that it can be a fun watch. Like I said, if you want to have it on in the background while you're doing something, folding laundry, doing your taxes.
Is this anytime?
Yeah.
Use up anytime minutes?
I think it can be a really fun watch if you're doing it under that guise. I had a smoother time with this movie than maybe what some of the homies would anticipate, simply because, as I told Dylan asked me, would I rather watch would I rather watch Batman Forever or the movie that we just watched? And this was before Jurassic Rebirth actually started playing. And I said, you know, like, if I watch a Batman movie that I don't like, I am going to be very tight the whole time. I'm going to be pointing out things, and I'm going to be critiquing it, and it's gonna make me upset. But if I just get to turn my brain off and look at Scarlett Johansson's titties for 2 hours, I'm going to go with that.
He did say that pretty much.
Just so you guys know, there is a damn near 0% chance that we will not review Batman Forever at some point.
I don't know, dog. It took us like 7 years before we reviewed The Dark Knight Returns.
I'm gonna be honest. I would have put money down that you've already reviewed every Batman movie.
You would think so.
No, we didn't review Dark Knight Returns until last year?
Last year, I want to say.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you fucking serious? You guys never...
Like I said, I would have put money down.
It's too easy of a layup, because it's always right there, So
but you guys have done Batman and Robin, right? Didn't you and Kevin watch it just for shits and giggles?
Yeah, we did Batman and Robin. That was arguably the first bad movie review that we've ever done.
Yeah, which is all fun and games until somebody giggles and shits.
I give this a 5.4 out of 10.
I forgot we were scoring.
Oh, okay. I think I enjoyed this movie the most out of anybody in the room. There was a few moments in this movie where it actually lulled me into a false sense of that I was watching a good movie. And then it would very quickly, like
that?
Fucking Street Fighter uppercut me and be like, nope. And, and then I would be like, shit, man. And I'd be like, am I watching just another Jurassic World sequel? And then be like, not quite. I'd be like, oh, thank God. And then, it was just a cycle of that, actually. I'd be like, oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, kick on some of that Jurassic Park music. Yeah, that makes me feel really good. And then, like, a character would say some completely out of left field bullshit that had nothing to do with what was happening. And I'd be like, oh, God, I can't take this. And, that was basically my 2 hours. The nerd in me really liked
Scarlett Johansson's titties.
Well, that too. But honestly, if you're coming to see the movie for that, there are better movies you can see.
That's true.
Just go watch The Island. Ewan McGregor's in that too, and he even plays with them. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have not seen that one.
Holy shit. Okay, well, we're gonna fix that. Is it old enough for throwback? It's like a 06.
Close, yeah.
06? Yeah, we got a little time.
And then you get to see like the weird, infamous. Wow, Michael Bay took that from one movie and put it in Transformers.
Yeah, he did.
There's a sequence that's taken that he takes because he also made The Island.
Yeah.
He takes a sequence from The Island and then repurposes that same shot and puts it in Transformers.
Like 100%. Yeah. Like straight up is like, well, I already did it, so paste.
So I'm trying to think of. I know I have not seen The Island, but what is like really quick? What's like the generic premise?
It's like clones.
Okay.
So the idea is that if you have enough money, you can pay them to make a clone of you.
Hell yeah.
And they raise it in this like facility, and then if your kidneys ever fail or anything, then they take your kidneys.
I think I've seen trailers for that. I was interested in the movie, just never watched it.
It's a good movie, yeah. I like it. Superhero homie rule number 10.
I haven't seen it since way back then, and I remember liking it. So
Okay.
Anyway, I digress. So, if we're, we've said it a lot. If you suffered through Fallen Kingdom, you can make it through this easily, because Fallen Kingdom is fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And I rolled my eyes into the back of my head way fewer times than I did during Dominion. So, if you enjoyed any of Fallen Kingdom or Dominion, you'll love this movie. I am a nerd about the dinosaurs. I liked Christopher Bailey's character, Dr. Henry Loomis, I think we said. I liked his character a lot. But on that same note, there just isn't that much here. So if you want to, like you said, turn your brain off, sit back and just kind of enjoy this dinosaur flick or whatever, and you don't need it to say anything profound or really do anything profound or innovative, and you just want to see people run from dinosaurs and on screen, you'll probably enjoy this. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Did not think I'd be the negative Nancy on this one.
Dylan, you said that like almost every time.
Yeah, every time he comes in here, he's like, I'm the optimistic one. Yeah,
I give it a 2.
First off, I never say that one. I just always assumed I'm not.
Yeah. You assume that you're going to be less critical than us.
Yeah.
And sometimes you are, but...
Also, it's 05.
It's 05, so
There are a lot of
I gotta wait
characters
till
on here.
20. It's 25, or is it 20?
20.
There's 20
unless it's a
for-
franchise.
20 for non-franchise. Okay, so yeah,
It's cleared.
so yeah, it's cleared. I could pick it.
I didn't know
And I
Steve
may.
Buscemi's in here.
Yeah, he is in that. Yeah.
So now that we have given our thoughts and scores, we are going to have a little brief pause here, and we're going to talk about some other random bullshit before we mosey on over to the spoiler filled section. So if you do not want to be spoiled by anything in this super thought-provoking, plot-heavy, character-driven narrative that is Jurassic World Rebirth, then you can go ahead and hit the pause button now. Otherwise, we're going to say some things until we get to the point where we don't want to bullshit no more.
Some things.
Should what do you think? Should we rank the 7 films real quick?
Oh, wow.
Before we do that one, let me ask my dumb bullshit thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Ark?
For like 5 minutes.
Okay.
I toyed with the idea of asking about if we should set up like a server just to see how long the three of us fucking played on it.
Dude, I mean, I could get our ARC server running tonight. Like,
First off,
Holy
not tonight. I have a procedure tomorrow and I need to wake up early.
I still have my config file, so like I can just stand one up and drop that in.
I legitimately am not sure if because I have, ever since I rage quit at that one time, I have not let myself play it again.
There's like over 1,000 settings on a custom server.
I believe it. There's a lot of shit going on. It is a very in-depth game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I have my config file, because I do not feel like toying with all that shit again.
I would only play if it was a private server, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all would have to handhold me quite a bit because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You act like I'd be good at this game.
I would. Yeah.
Like I did a lot, but that does not mean I'm good at this game.
I mean, compared to me, you know,
You don't know that.
I think I do.
But have you really played it?
Art?
Yeah. You said like 5 minutes. That's not the same.
Well,
I'm guessing you like woke up on a beach, got killed, starved to death, and then logged out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Damn, that does sound about right.
pretty much like, I'm going to build a house. No, the fuck I'm not.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
Level 108 Raptor. Why are you in a level 3 zone?
Wow.
You don't say.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my neighbor, Little Dick Larry.
I was
the
going
one
to
that
say,
fucking killed me.
we're not compensating at all here.
At 11 at night.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, on a Wednesday. That's Little Dick Larry for you folks.
It's Butt Laser Johnny's cousin.
Yeah.
Little Dick Larry. Little Dick Larry Storm. I guess it would
shit.
be.
Oh man, I'm trying to think about like ranking all 7 of them. That's gonna be really bad.
Okay,
So
so
let's start with the worst.
let's start with the worst of the worst. Fallen Kingdom.
Kingdom.
We all.
Which one was that?
That's the one where
With the dinosaur auction.
the first 15 minutes.
That one was pretty bad.
And those 2 brontosauruses get melted by the lava. And everybody was like, the fuck?
So I would say that's the worst, but I legitimately remember just about the same amount of information about the second Jurassic Park movie,
Lost World.
Lost World. Yeah,
I can't put that anywhere near the bottom.
really? I don't remember any of it, so I don't think it's gonna be that good. I know I've seen it at least twice.
So here's the thing, like it is a significant drop off from Jurassic Park 1
Yeah.
to 2.
Yeah.
However,
I don't remember what the fuck happens in 2. What happens in 2?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
I do like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing is like the first half of Lost World is actually like quite good.
Okay.
So
I think it's the one where like the little kid gets ate by the little fucking the tiny guys.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like at
that
the
does
start.
happen in the beginning. The kid lives or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like so basically the engine board like uses this shit to take it away from John Hammond. So at the beginning you actually have John Hammond, Ian goes to see him, whatever, and he's like, hey, I need a team to like document the other island. This is back when there was only one other island. Because we want to turn it into like a nature preserve or whatever. And the only reason he goes to the island is because he finds out that he already sent his fucking girlfriend there. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So we're going to go on a rescue mission. And they go to the island. And like the next 30 minutes of this movie is like quite good. Then they take a T-Rex back to Los Angeles because they want to open a new Jurassic Park in California on the mainland. Correct. That's the correct response.
And it takes approximately 2.7 minutes for havoc to ensue.
Yeah, they don't even get the damn thing off the ship.
So I do remember most of the movie then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to hold on to that end because I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But now think about all the other Jurassic Park movies.
I think I might just be desensitized.
Yeah, because
No, don't get me wrong. I think I remember the third one now. There's like some fucking kid who got stuck on the island and they have to go save.
there's always a kid.
Yeah, but like he's like a teenager or whatever the fuck. But like he's been living on the island for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part.
That one's got Alan Grant in it, and that's the reason to watch that movie.
Yeah, I did like that part. It was fun because him being, like, no, you guys are stupid.
Yeah. The whole time, yeah.
And they're like, no, we're not. Dead.
Yeah. It's kind of like, if you like go to the Vortex on like a Sunday, right? And then you like, obviously you got to go home and like take a long nap and a dump. And then on Monday,
Or at the same time.
on Monday, you just fall asleep during the dump. On Monday, you then go and get like a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. And you're like, I don't even really, I'm just eating this because I'm hungry. I'm not really liking it. But then, like, you have to make a Spam sandwich the next day. And so the lost world in this metaphor is the McDonald's burger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That just made me think about the time that I ate an MRE and then ate Taco Bell right after.
Damn, Dylan. There's easier ways to kill yourself. Not that I want you to.
Yeah.
Look, they told me I wouldn't shit for 3 days, and I said, bet.
Holy shit. Okay.
But
it was not holy.
So Fallen Kingdom at the bottom.
Fallen Kingdom is at the bottom.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree.
I'm going to go with Dominion right on top of that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I can't.
I literally just watched that one, and it... I remember it all.
It's half a decent film. The Locust B plot is...
Oh, my God.
We didn't come here for this.
Yeah. They were like, who wants to see dinosaurs and humanity mix? But people really want to see Locust, all right?
Yeah, just Locust. See, what you told me whenever I talked about having to watch it before this one, because I rewatched the World Series. Well, not the first one, actually, so...
The World Series is baseball.
Someone take away his button privileges. But I just watched it. I remember it all, but nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing of note happens. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I mean, you get the original team back, and they team up with the new team.
And nothing of note.
I did like the nerdy computer guy, though. He was funny.
Oh, yeah.
And they bring back Dr. Henry Wu or whatever from the very first movie.
Fucking like,
Oh, shit, he was in the first one?
Yeah, he's the guy who's like...
I thought he looked familiar.
Talking to them about the raptor eggs or whatever when they watch one hatch. And Alan Grant drops the, "You bred raptors" line.
Which is a fair line.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
What would he say about this fucking movie?
I think he would just get a gun and start shooting people.
Yeah. Okay, so Fallen Kingdom at the bottom, number 7. No, Dominion number 6. I'm probably gonna slot.
I'm probably gonna.
I'm right there with you, actually.
So for me, I'm sitting here teetering between like 3, World, and Rebirth. Like,
yeah, and those are the 3.
Yeah, I'm like,
because I like Grant in 3.
I like Grant in 3.
I think I put Rebirth here.
I think Rebirth goes here at number 5.
Number 5.
And then
what about you, Dylan? You think Rebirth?
Yeah.
I actually think I'm gonna slightly mix it up.
Okay.
I might put World here.
I'm okay with that. And if Rebirth goes here, then World to me goes right.
I think that's just swap for me.
And you know what? It's like I said earlier. Like if Rebirth had came out first and then World came out now, my feelings on the two movies might be flipped. You know.
I think I'm sticking with this one though. I think I'm going to go World next, and then Rebirth.
Yeah. Okay.
Then 3.
Yeah, and then and then
it's just a countdown.
And then it's just from there. It's 3, 2, 1. Like there's no even deliberation about if 1 and 2 are in the 1 and 2 slot.
Yeah.
I mean,
so here's the weird thing, or I should say the sad thing is that like Jurassic World and maybe to a degree Rebirth was supposed to be Jurassic Park for like the newer generation, like because Jurassic Park is special for us, real millennials. We kind of grew up with these movies, so we remember what it was like to watch Jurassic Park. Kind of when it was in the cultural zeitgeist, and these Jurassic World and Rebirth was supposed to be for the younger generation, what Jurassic Park was for us. The problem is that like they're just not nearly as good, right? So it's like Rocky wasn't for us because we weren't even fucking alive, but we were alive for Creed,
right?
And I think like if you compare the two, like take Rocky 1 and for its time, Creed is every bit as good as just Rocky 1.
I still need to watch the Creed movies. I've planned to. I just never did get around to it.
1 and 3 are excellent. 2 doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
I think 2's okay.
On the generational thing, I feel like there were too many kids in this movie, like in the seats.
Oh, like kids watching the movie.
There were a lot of children.
They tend to like it. Well, this is America, right? So like,
and kids love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No, I have This Is America stuck in my head.
But here, like, it's so much more acceptable for kids to be exposed to violence than it is to anything like sexual, right? Like even like a wink and a nod, like SpongeBob episodes and shit. So yeah, I mean, violence is just fine. It doesn't matter.
You're right, but that's weird.
Yeah, no, it's dumb, right? But we just that's America right now.
I almost said a scene in the movie that kind of correlates to this, but it would have been spoilers technically. So like
you can watch somebody be eaten, and that's dope.
But if you add it out at the end of that,
like let somebody pop a titty out, unacceptable. Can't happen. Yeah. Yeah, our culture is awful. Yeah.
I think I had a funny joke there.
Oh, okay.
I said add out at the end of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, all right, so I don't know where to go from that.
I think we're
move on to the next section.
I think we moseyed. Yeah. So if you guys are still here, then
I'm sorry.
Like what are you doing? But thanks. But now here we are back with spoilers. So if you guys are still here, that means you don't care about spoilers. So 3, 2, 1, go. We are in the spoiler territory.
What the fuck?
Why is that stoner alive? I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
Hate that kid. He was awful.
He was awful. My number one question is, what the fuck is that raft made out of?
Yes! I would be making like planes and shit out of that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you guys like take a step back from the dinosaur theme parks and sell those rafts.
You will make all the money.
Absolutely.
And
that was the prototype.
And also make some air mattresses out of that same shit.
Yeah. Like maybe this island is off the coast of Wakanda and like some vibranium residue
is just in that shit.
Yeah. It's something.
The vibranium raft. Because like that raft, folks, survives a full-on attack from a fucking T-Rex.
And the T-Rex gets angrier when he realizes he can't fucking break it.
I legitimately thought it popped whenever he did the and I was like, oh, okay, that's the end of that. And then it just shits itself out of the water. I don't...
Also, that T-Rex was hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
Like I that was like the part of the movie that I like was like hard belly laughing was that whole section because that fucking T-Rex was just hilarious to me.
It was funny at the start.
Well, when it made the fucking Nat 20 stealth check, I was like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah.
and then he rolls several ones to try to bite these people. He's like, these humans have an AC of 10, and I have a +8 on my bite. Yeah, what the fuck is happening? And he's just like, one. In
fact, one of the scenes, I thought it got the dad's foot. I swear it got the dad's foot. I feel like they cast it that way, and they're like, and we can't have him limp the rest of the movie more than he already is. He made it through.
So to break the ice here, okay, there's another cast of characters in the movie.
Yes.
It was really weird because when they first set off for the island, I was like, holy shit, they didn't bring any children to the dinosaur island. Fuck yeah. And then they just pan with no warning to this random family on a boat. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, they're on a boat and it's going fast and
they have a kid and
they have 2 kids and some dopey motherfucker. And then I was like, and then when like the thing started to attack their ship, I was like, oh, they're all gonna die. Then I was like, no. They're gonna take them to the dinosaur island.
At that moment, I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're all gonna die. Thank goodness I hate that guy. And then most of them were alive, and like he was under the water. I was like, maybe he will just die.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Because this dude refused to take a shift at the wheel for no reason.
I think if I could just change only one thing about the movie, I would have had the Mesosaur eat him right there.
Yeah.
I did like the raptor pissing scene.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
Except for that it wasn't believable that he wouldn't have turned around.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but it was fun.
That was like the 2.0 of like cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah.
It's like cool guys don't look at the dinosaur fight behind them.
And not to get too lost in shit that doesn't matter, but if I got to pee real bad, like he obviously had to pee real bad, and then some shit like that happens behind my back, I haven't had enough time pinching my piss at 3 o'clock in the morning. Better yet.
That's just still going.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, huh.
Yeah.
And a bare minimum, I'm going to be like,
yeah, I'd be pissing so hard I could win a carnival game.
He really had to go, clearly.
Oh, yeah. But he was able to hold it in.
Yeah, that's
until he walked 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's how you get like fucking UTIs and shit. You gotta let that shit go.
I would not have walked nearly that far. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care if 3 people are sleeping on the other side of a tree. I'm going 2 trees over.
As I told Dylan, I said, man, they did the same shit in Sinners. Like, if you feel like you may be in a movie, never walk too far away to go take a piss.
Even if you don't feel like you're in a movie.
Yeah.
Just don't walk that far.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say,
I'm pissing right now.
All right. It's your carpet.
It's your carpet. Yeah, I prefer you not, but it is your carpet. I gotta say though, the little kid was maybe among the least annoying characters in the movie. I actually never minded her. Yeah. She was reacting realistically as fuck to everything.
Yeah, my like I said, my 2 favorite characters were the dad and the little girl.
Yeah, because they were actual characters.
Yeah.
The dad was like probably the best like character, like actor in the movie.
Oh, he's one of the best dads I've ever seen in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's too good of a dad.
And it was in such stark contrast to like his oldest daughter's stoner boyfriend. And
his oldest daughter.
Yeah. Like the boyfriend was so bad that it made me dislike the older daughter.
Because she was defending him. I'm like, no, fuck that.
Right.
Like, oh, I didn't like him at first either. Why are you dating?
At that moment when that happened, I leaned over and was like, his dick game has got to be amazing.
Got to be up.
And then I was
How
like,
did you get that far?
I was like, you got to stop asking these questions, Dad, that you don't want to know the answer to.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I don't see what you like about him. I was like, well, you got to go over here to this dinosaur fight and check out what she likes about him.
Right. Oh shit.
I hate he had a redemption arc.
Oh my gosh.
Did anybody have an arc?
No.
Yeah, that's a strong word. That's true.
I thought
arc was a video game.
You only get one, remember?
No.
Now you used up Dilly's.
I'll accept that, actually. That one was okay.
Thank you.
Look, I hated the fucking Last Jedi light switch character arc that ScarJo had in this, where she's like a greedy, money-hungry mercenary. Nothing at all happens to change this, and then at one point she's just like, well, what if we did put it out for free?
Yeah.
No, I think what happened is whenever they got like really soaked, like his clothing got more stuck on him, and he had to have like a python down there or something. She's like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Nerdy guy.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I see.
Well, Dylan, you also mentioned at the end of the movie.
I say a lot of things.
But it was like, well, your meal ticket is dead.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, who's gonna buy this shit? Dude's gone. Granted, she could almost certainly get in contact with the company.
Absolutely.
Which that segues into another thing that you said separately, but for the, I'm sure, same amount of time that I did. Keep a copy of the DNA, sell that shit to the people, wait like, I don't know, a week, then drop that shit out for everybody to have.
Yeah.
My idea was like, you got 3 vials, sell one vial to like 3 different companies.
Yeah.
And I mean, that way you make a shit ton of money and you're going to force them to have to work together.
Yeah, but they're still going to probably fuck over everybody
gonna...
else. I like my version more because she's getting $20 million.
We combine all of these. You sell one of them to each of 3 different companies. Mm-hmm. And then once you got the money, you just release all that shit to the internet for free.
Oh, yeah.
Just put that shit on the... I'm sure there's a Jurassic Park subreddit in their world. There's got to be. Because there's one in our world and we don't even have a Jurassic Park.
You keep the information copied on 2 or 3 externals or whatever just to make sure nothing fucks up.
Yeah.
You got to do it quick because the fucking Fed's going to be...
oh, yeah.
Going to be at your house real quick.
So you know at the end when Mustache Twirling Corporate Man is in the convertible Cybertruck? Mm-hmm.
You also said that looked like a Cybertruck. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Cyber Jeep.
And he's driving down and he goes to hit, almost hits the anklo and swerves and then a pterodactyl tries to get him. The whole time he's going down through there, I was like, these motherfuckers, this is going to be a ride at Universal.
Oh my God.
Oh, damn. You're right, though.
Yeah. Damn.
You know they're going to try to cash in.
I thought they already had a Jurassic Park ride.
They have 2. They're about to have another one.
Yeah.
They had one that's actually a lot close-ish to this that was at Disney World that I think finally closed, unfortunately.
Yeah, because they don't own it. Yeah.
It's a little sad. That was actually a really fun ride.
The one at Universal is really good. So there's 2. There's the Pterodactyl Flyers, which is I think more of a kiddie ride. It's one of those kiddie rides where adults can get on it, but it's for kids. And then there's the actual river, whatever they call it, Jurassic Park River Adventure or whatever.
I think the big thing in that is at the end, you're going between the T-Rex's legs and this. But then it's a fucking drop off.
Yeah, no, he pops out. So you're in the building, and he busts through the wall, and then the floor drops out from under you, and you have the big splash at the end. Yeah.
So that just makes me think of Cali River Rapids from Disney World.
It's very much based on the original movie. So
I have found, because I have not gone on a lot of rides in many years, I no longer do as well on them. I don't like drops. I never liked drops before, but I don't like drops. I might skip that one.
I rode the one that they have, the acrophobia at Six Flags, and I am pretty.
That sounds bad.
I'm pretty sure that is the most terrified I've ever been. I would not do it again. I did it as just to see if I could physically do it, and I'm very certain that I had resigned that I was going to die right there.
So. Not shockingly, whenever I do stuff like that, I very quickly, in the moment, kind of move into a mindset where everything's okay and I have fun. But then I get off the ride and I remember that it's terrifying.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you... I
don't want to do that still.
That did not happen.
I'm also not shocked.
I was there the whole time. Now, I will say I forgot this. They have 3 rides at fucking Universal because they have the Velocicoaster. That's the Jurassic World one, and that I really like fucking scary roller coasters. I'm real big into roller coasters, but that one takes the terror level just over the line where I enjoy it. It's the line is here and that's here. I'm just that was fun, but I spent a little too much of that ride being terrified, and whereas the acrophobia, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it's it's one of those things where it's like a circle, and the seats are along the outside of it, and you get in the seat, and then it takes you up high as fuck, you can see all of Atlanta from up there, it's one of the highest of these type of rides. It's like Tower of Terror, but you're outside. And then, right before they drop you, the seats go like that, and they lean you. And then they drop you. and you're up there for a long ass time, and the thing spins, and it's just kind of doing this. It doesn't spin fast. It's just kind of, and then it's awful. Yeah, it's horrifying. You all right?
No.
Okay.
Well, speaking of things that are awful,
And I've been on Tower of Terror.
Yeah, great segue.
I'm tired of there being human antagonists in all of these movies. Like I think that just like the fear of survival should be enough. Like I don't need there to be a human dickbag in every single one of these like this.
It worked in the first one for Nedry because he was the secondary antagonist, right? Like he was greedy and was trying to fuck over his employer, and he wasn't even intentionally causing the park to melt down.
Yeah.
That wasn't even his objective. And then once he did that, then the primary antagonist is you have to survive the fucking island, which includes the dinosaurs.
Yeah. It's just like,
Which I mean, I think the first one did so well with that because it was set up that way, and I don't think any of the other movies have done that because like he didn't mean to, like you said, he did not mean to break the whole fucking park.
Yeah.
I think he started the issue, and then what was it? Did like lightning mess it up or something, or did it just like mess up worse than he thought it would?
No, so he
messed up the security system so he could sneak out.
Yeah, he said he had what, like a 6-minute window or something like that, and he was trying to get to the dock, but he ended up not getting to the dock because of there was like a crazy ass storm.
Yeah,
and
which he was using as cover.
Yeah, had there not been a crazy ass storm, then everything would have just rebooted the way it was supposed to. Yeah, but he had turned all the shit off. So,
granted, he also was using the storm like you said, it was cover. It was like, oh, tropical storm, it's nothing. He had the Florida mentality. Got to be careful with that. Get you in trouble.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, right, is they in that scene where he wrecks the Jeep or whatever, the fucking canister that he had of all the embryos gets buried under the mud. And when I saw that movie the first time, I was just like, okay, well, that's obviously the setup for the sequel. They've never gone back to that shit.
Well, they said it would keep it cool for like a number of hours or something like that, or days, but...
Well, sure, but you would think that would be extended with it being, basically like, not fossilized, but you know what I mean? Like, with it being kind of contained in there. You think that...
I could see them doing some Hollywood bullshit.
Right. It would degrade over time, but...
Yeah.
I mean, it's too late now. It's been like 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But they could have done it like, we went out to the island a few days later and fucking found this shit.
Pick that shit up.
I want to talk about the Dinomorph.
Oh, God.
I don't.
It reminded me of the weird thing at the end of Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
This thing does it as well. Why did so many dinos in this movie do this number? Like, the T-Rex did it, and I was like, it's a T-Rex. It just looks a little silly, whatever. But, actually, like, 3 other dinos was just like...
The way that the T-Rex was kind of funny for me, and not even intentionally so, but the T-Rex, to me, looked less like this and more like it was doing this.
Yeah.
Like the fucking chickens you 3D print the arms for. Just...
Dude, I'm telling you, like, the T-Rex was hilarious. I also like that they rolled upon him when he was taking a nap.
That was funny. I did love that.
And when he got up, he was like, fuck, man. He's like, and he's like, surely am I dreaming about eating humans again?
Is that food?
If I could change that scene, as funny as some of the stuff was, I would not change a single thing, except I really, really wanted the T-Rex to, like, look up, yell at the fucking pterodactyl that went by, and then as they're, paddling away, he just goes, huh. And then just goes back to drinking water or some shit. Like, they're freaking out that this is a T-Rex, and he's just like, I don't fucking care about you.
Yeah, I mean, because, like I was telling Dylan, like, in theory, the T-Rex should be full. Like, he had a fucking good meal.
And he didn't even finish that shit.
He was in a food coma.
Yeah.
He just woke up. Bro needs to either... He drank some water. He's gotta need to piss.
Yep, gotta pee.
And probably shit.
Uh-huh.
Well, I clearly gave this movie too much credit because for a minute there I thought that maybe they were trying to go with the whole concept of like the T-Rex was not a predator. They were scavengers. They ate corpses.
Well, then why did he forget about the corpse that was 2 feet in front of him?
Yeah. Right, and then I was like, oh, I'm giving them way too much credit. Yeah. But I did think the scene was fucking hilarious.
Unfortunately, like, this movie has a cheap out for all of that. There's some of these things are all mutants.
Yeah, they're all fucking around things.
Yep. And let me tell you, I hate that because there's this certain like nerdy fascination that I have with the whole like, oh, the dinosaurs are back thing because I fucking like dinosaurs. They're just a cool thing. It's cool to us that there's these monstrous creatures that were real and they existed. But on that same note, man, like you lose that for me when you start doing all this like, oh, it's mutated shit. And the D-Rex or whatever was way dumber than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, whenever I saw it at first, I was like, oh, shit, we're going to get like I know we'd had smarter dinosaurs before. We're going to get like a really smart dinosaur.
I think that the Indominus Rex was dumb enough, but at least the Indominus Rex was like, okay, the like this is the main thing at least, you know. But like here with this thing,
I forgot it was a thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we see it, you know, like what the first 5 minutes. Within the first 5 minutes, and then we don't see it again until
the end.
And again, like, I know the movie points it out and they ask the question, but still there is no answer to this. Why?
Yeah, it does ask it itself.
The thing looks like Peyton Manning fucked a T-Rex.
No,
it does.
I don't know what was on here. You saying that or your reaction to it?
It looked ridiculous. And it wasn't smart or fast or any of that shit. I mean, it was just kind of horrific looking.
And why did it have so many hands?
it had so many hands.
And I don't know that it even could use the chest hands.
It did. That's what it grabbed with.
Oh, I thought it grabbed with a big, lanky...
No, it like that's what it used to like stop the truck, and then whenever he was running off, it like really slowly was just like, "What's up, dude?" Also, and then grabbed him with his little hands, with his strong hands.
With his strong hand.
I think they just fucking like played with the plot on how big this thing was, because like it bit that fucking helicopter and looked like kaiju level, and then next thing you know, it's like bending down into this little like 8-foot cave, and I'm like. It just looks like a Rancor, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck?
You know,
and it had missed powers for a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a moment pretty early on in the movie, maybe 30 minutes in, I lean over to Dylan and I say, would it make the movie better or worse for you if at the end of the movie King Kong shows up?
And fights this thing?
Better. I sat there for longer than I should have at the time and just said yes. I think it would have made it better. I think I would have been like, all right, whatever, fuck it.
Because at this point,
send it.
Bring it on. Yeah, let me have it.
I'd have been like, oh, fuck. Okay, I actually didn't see this coming. Okay.
Kaiju fight in the last arc. All right.
Yeah, I'm down. I am glad that they didn't have the T-Rex show up and fight the thing, because they've done that to death.
They've done that, yeah. How many times? Twice?
3.
Wow.
I did like the little Easter egg at the start. When they were taking down the thing, and the T-Rex bones were there, and it was taking down.
And they dropped the flag.
I was like, they did the thing.
Yeah, there's also the moment where when they first go to wherever they meet Mahershala Ali's character, when evil corporate man steps off of onto the dock.
That's where I had seen that scene.
He's dressed similarly to the lawyer in the very first one in the original Jurassic Park. Yeah. You know, after the guy gets killed, that's the next scene. Is it opens to the guy stepping out into the dock, and Gareth Edwards shot it the same way, and he's dressed similarly, and that was a nice little nod.
What I had originally thought and leaned over him and said was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this scene in an Indiana Jones movie.
There is an Indiana Jones reference in the movie. It's when they're in the Quetzal cave, and ScarJo makes a joke about some kind of like, she says something about like mystical treasure or hidden treasure or something like that, and the way he holds the egg up is like the exact shot of Indiana Jones with the idol.
2 more things before I forget either of them. First off, the easier one. I made a reference whenever they got the nerd dude, Harry, was that his name?
Henry.
When they got Henry on there, I leaned over to him whenever they were talking to him about like seeing the dinosaurs in real life. I was just like, they're using the TISM hack on this one.
Yeah.
Just Yeah, but have you seen it in person? Fuck.
Yeah. I also I really like that Australian accent mercenary guy got killed real fast.
Yeah, it would be a much worse movie if he was on there for much longer. And it makes sense, because he was being stupid.
Like, first off, I'm like, okay, they brought this dude for some muscle or whatever. And then he clearly shows he went to, like, Stormtrooper Academy.
He's just...
He's just like...
I think I even said, would you aim?
Right.
I was like, bro, I have shot at several of these Spinos before. I know they're fast, but, like, you can shoot them.
Yeah.
Maybe stop hip firing.
Also, I think the Spinos, those things are fucking dangerous, man. From Ark, knowing this from Ark, you do not want one of those after you.
Even from any visual of it, you can see that shit and you're just like, no, I'm good.
I think they did the best job with them out of maybe every dinosaur in the movie, other than maybe the Quetzal was also well done, I think.
I think it was, yeah, I agree.
But the Spinos were fucking terrifying, dude.
Oh, yeah. Also, what is it about these genetically modified, these GMO dinosaurs that don't like boats of any kind?
They really hate boats.
Yeah, they got a problem with any kind of seacraft vessel.
Speaking of boats, I don't know why. I don't know why, but I feel like the boat at the end there would not make it back to any mainland.
Especially since there's still dinosaurs in those waters.
Yeah, and they hate boats.
We had the same fucking thing. I was like, okay, but those Mesosaurs and the Spinos are still out here, and you guys were in a much nicer boat.
Yeah.
Like 5 seconds ago.
Oh, okay.
Not really 5, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So they probably all died shortly thereafter.
Probably.
Yeah, the amount of plot
That's why we
device
don't get anything at the end.
characters and MacGuffins and all that shit in this movie,
Speaking of,
So, like,
it's
how
tropey
did
AF.
Mahershala Ali survive?
Dude, the flare went out. I don't know. Even though it's supposed to last for fucking ever, the flare went out.
That's my thing, is like, I guess maybe he put the flare out and the thing couldn't
And
see
the
him.
thing was like, well.
Or he tossed the flare, because the dinosaur was dumb as shit.
He might have bit the flare. Yeah, he could have ate the flare. That thing was stupid.
I did think about whenever he's like yelling, just be like, toss that shit in there, see what it does.
I honestly think that they made that thing a much bigger part of this movie originally, and then probably did some test screenings, and they were like, well, we made this fucking CGI model, so we got to leave it in there, but they just like downplayed the fuck out. Because when you watch the opening sequence, which by the way, you could take that completely out of this movie, and it's,
entirely,
and it's the same, if not better, movie. That shit was so dumb with the Snickers wrapper.
Bro,
Yes. It's like, you can shut down this top-notch fucking facility with a Snickers wrapper.
Yep.
Amazing. But that whole scene, you could take it completely out of the movie. But when you're sitting there watching it, you're like, okay, all right, well, this whole movie, I guess, is going to be about this thing. So, like, when they get on the island, they're going to find out that this terrifying fucking nemesis dinosaur is there. And it's going to be tracking them the whole time. This motherfucker does not show up for the next hour and 40 minutes.
Nope.
Very end.
Yeah.
Also, like, don't get me wrong, I get that theoretically these islands would have some variant of native something going on with them, like evidence of native people. Why was there only one cave that had any native anything on it?
And it felt like to me that they made that shit just for like decorating the place.
Yeah. It was just there.
Because natives wouldn't have put that cave right there.
Unless, the only way I could possibly think of it is if like, oh, they found a cave. Oh, that for some reason they thought it was sacred. And then they built a little stairway up in there and then made it all fancy.
Yeah.
But then also, maybe they'd have some shit around it.
I hope Gareth Edwards got paid a lot for this because, you know, they made Rogue One and then, like, they split off and, what's the other guy?
I don't remember.
The dude that wrote Rogue One went off to make Andor, and then Gareth Edwards got saddled with this shit.
So another thing here that I don't know how much this movie thought about or care to think about, but the little baby whatever saurus, the fuck offosaurus that the little girl,
the
Cutasaurus.
The Cutasaurus that has the best survival instincts out of anything in this movie.
Well, apparently not, because the motherfucker is sailing away from the only place he can fucking live.
Yeah.
He's gonna die.
Like I said, heating lamps, you're fine.
They're going to have to keep this motherfucker in a terrarium for the rest of his life. Or take him back to the Death Island.
Yeah.
I don't think you can mail him there. The post office is going to be like, nope.
We don't deliver there.
You going to get that shit on your truck?
Like, this box is fucking moving. It says express, so I gotta deliver it.
Yeah, okay.
But would you really care that much?
If the box was moving?
Yeah.
If the box is moving, I care.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Because none of them are supposed to move.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is I've had some FedEx guys. I don't think they would.
I mean, like, when I say care, I don't mean like care. I mean, like, I care for my own concern and safety.
I'm just asking if you're still going to deliver it.
They are very, very uptight about express packages, especially being delivered. So if it doesn't have that overnight express, I might just leave it somewhere, you know?
It's got that AM button, like that label on there. The fucking got to get there in the morning.
And then like, oh man, it needs a signature and a license. Like,
Oh yeah,
God,
yeah.
Oh.
Adult signature and all.
Oh man, I hate forging these. I mean, I hate when this.
I know the exact button. I've had to do those for.
Oh, me too.
No, I've had to set up the fucking label for that shit. In Dollar General, they always required an adult signature. Every package.
It's dumb.
You're gonna get there and that fucking T-Rex is gonna be like, oh man, I just fucking.
All right, I need a license, dude.
Where, all right, fuck it. Where can I leave this thing?
If you don't have a license, I can also use your birthday. You were born how many years ago?
Is there numbers before or after that?
Oh shit!
All right, so if somebody offered to pay you $10 million to go to Dinosaur Island and retrieve DNA from like the 3 biggest dinos, would you?
What's the point of accepting something that I won't return from?
See, so here's the thing: like, them putting that much numbers out in front would make me pause and be like, "Damn, that's a lot." No, I do not have the skill set to live through that.
They really should get a procurer with a little more charisma than this guy, because like he very clearly was a sleazy fuck.
Oh yeah.
Also, him letting that little girl fall off the boat or whatever was so pointless.
So you say little girl? I think she was mostly just like teenager-y.
Yeah, she's about to go to college or whatever. But.
Okay, well she was probably
little
half
girl
my
makes
age.
you think of
so,
the little girl.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Middle girl was dates the douchebag girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Middle girl worked too, but I like that one.
That whole scene was pointless, but also I was like, both y'all could follow this goddamn boat fall like
Yeah.
I gotta say that that's probably the best action sequence in the whole movie is the boat chase right there.
I think it's because I still cared.
Right? Yeah. You don't
still care, and at that point it felt like maybe a named character could possibly die.
Yeah. There were red shirts on the boat, but you know.
And
I mean, what we thought was a named character did die. Because I really thought the muscle dude was going to last longer.
Oh, you thought so?
A little bit. Oh. Whenever he started shooting off, I was like, and then whenever he just got, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Also, no wonder the little kid didn't fucking talk for a little bit. She looked in that man's eyes as he got dragged off. And I was like, oh, that's therapy.
Oh, there's trauma for sure.
Oh yeah, like when they were like debating over like letting the thing follow them around, I was like, my dude, it's either a decade of therapy or you take the little fucking dinosaur with you. Like those are your choices.
And then the dad proved once again he's way too good of a dad. He's like, it's helping her. Come on.
Right, dog. Because like Hank Hill wouldn't have had none of that shit.
God dang it, Bobby, leave that.
Yeah. He would have been fed up with motherfucking Stoner Dude before they even came on this trip.
He would have beat that kid's ass.
He would have been drowned on the first boat.
Yeah. He would have been like, absolutely goddamn not.
Oh shit.
No.
Ball.
I'm gonna be honest. I've watched a good bit of it, and I love some of the quotes for it. I don't super care for that show.
No, it's not that good. I just love that
it was a good show.
I like my favorite thing about King of the Hill is that there's apparently like a crazy debate in Japan over whether the sub or the dub is better.
That is amazing.
Yeah, wow. Like that's like actually a thing where there is this like there are two sides of this thing.
It's the anime talk.
Yeah, it's just flipped, and I enjoy that a lot.
I just like things in its native, whatever it was made in. I like to watch it in that when I can.
Yeah,
but that's fucking bonkers.
Pocket sand. I used to like Bobby Hill. So
speaking of debates, this movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else of goddamn note happened in this movie.
Ooh. Well, all right. Yeah, I mean, by the way, the budget for this thing I believe was 180 million.
Okay.
And this actually, I think, on track to clear a 250 opening weekend.
Well, I mean, the name brand and the hype on it, I get that.
Which, you know what that means? It means they're gonna make another.
Don't do that.
See,
don't say those words.
It's probably gonna continuously fall off though, because like 10 years ago, Jurassic World came out. It made $1 billion.
Yep.
And then
Is it gonna just be 3 movies reset? 3 movies reset? Don't do that.
Yeah, forever and ever.
Yeah.
100 seasons, Morty.
Until you're 90.
Until you're 90. At least they finally let the T-Rex from the original movie die off.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Because that same T-Rex is the one that's in Dominion.
Fucking what?
Yeah, it's the same T-Rex at the end of World, and the same T-Rex is in Dominion. Yeah, that's like all supposed to be the same T-Rex.
Wait,
how fucking long do they live?
That's the same T-Rex that fights the Indominus Rex?
Yes, the one that Claire lets out of the thing, that is the same T-Rex from the end of Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Yeah, that's canon.
You're not going to say it's the same one that was in fucking New York, too, are you?
No, the one in Los Angeles? No, that's not the same one.
Yeah, I don't know why I said New York.
Fucking geriatric-ass dinosaur.
Yeah. Right?
How you old even for a dinosaur?
Granted, I know they said that like some dinos fucking live for like 100 years or whatever. Fuck that. They sped that shit up.
Some humans live for 100 years, but
yeah,
you know.
they ain't fucking throwing hands with Mike Tyson.
Well, from Park to World, it would only been like 20 years, so it's not that crazy.
I guess that's fair.
And that the T-Rex was very young in Park. I mean, a couple of years maybe.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how many growth hormones they put in them chicken nuggies for it.
That's true. We don't know.
Well, I mean, now we have dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggies, so
it's full circle.
Yeah.
Goddamn, is that little Dick Larry again?
Well,
he's farther off this time.
He went on a booty call, and it didn't take that long. Because one pump is very short, so he's back.
Well, he's sending PRs. That was like a personal best for him.
Well, it's a 20-minute drive there.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah. He ain't got to turn the motorcycle off.
Speaking of like 20-minute fucking turnarounds, why were they so against? Like, why were multiple people on the boat? I can understand Sleazy McGee, dude. But when there was a distress signal, why were more of them against picking them up? I know they're doing illegal shit. But if they're doing illegal shit by being near there, and there's someone near there...
Before I answer you, I'm going to say I was more interested in what you were going to say there than probably anything in this movie.
Probably.
Because you had me. I was like, what is he going to say?
No, normal dumb bullshit.
Yeah, they had to establish that they were all a bunch of heartless mercenaries.
And then I guess they would hint at the fact that the main character has a heart.
Yeah, I really liked Henry's character, except for the fact, where they're just in a survival situation and he would just kind of exposit randomly, and then it'd be like an awkward moment, and then they would just go back to he didn't say all that shit. That happened 2 or 3 times.
The boat scene between what is her name?
You got
Zora.
More specific. There's a lot of boat scenes.
No, between Zora and
There's a lot of boats in this movie.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of holes though.
No, I was just thinking that.
What's the boat driver's name?
Mahershala Ali.
The only reason I know his name is Duncan is because she yells it 40 times at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah,
she goes,
between her and Duncan, when they're just sitting in the fucking boat, at the start of this, I went and took a piss and came back.
Yeah,
I feel like I missed nothing.
Honestly, that's some of the only character work that those two ever get is that scene. It felt
so awkward and forced and bad, though.
It is. They wanted there to be some crazy chemistry between them. They hang out all the time and work all these missions together.
It almost sort of seemed that way. But
it would be like if there's the superhero homie documentary, right? And Caleb comes over for a podcast and hey man, how's it been, man? I'm so glad that you've been my co-host for all this time. And, you were there. Remember when we reviewed Endgame together? Man, that was really something special. It would just feel like the most inauthentic conversation.
Yeah.
That's how it was between those two.
The hard part about that is you two will occasionally talk about, hey, do you remember when we reviewed this one thing? But it feels more natural.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like they were like, all right, where can we put in that her mom died and that she could not make it to the funeral?
And that shit is not relevant to the movie at all. the only thing that even kind of tried to like actually be relevant from a backstory was they basically tell you that Duncan's kid died. He lost a kid. And so, like, he's initially real pissed that, like, the kids are in danger. And it explains why he's so very much, like, adamant about protecting the kids he doesn't know.
I will accept that.
Yeah.
They could have done it a better way.
Oh, absolutely. All of it could have been. Like, pretty much every note about any of these characters, except for maybe Henry, could have been way fucking better. I thought they did a pretty good job of establishing him, but also, he's got the 2000s Reed Richard problem, where the only thing they know is like, oh, this is a nerd. So every character that interacts with them has to go, you are weird, man.
Right. Yes.
I mean, he was pretty weird.
Do you know you are a nerd?
I had to pick up on that one. Another thing, for those of you that listen and have glasses, what the fuck are these dudes' glasses made out of?
It's true. They were pristine.
By the end of the movie, they had a smudge on them.
Honestly, also his hair and beard. All that shit.
I kept getting distracted by the fact that his glasses could still be used.
This motherfucker was in makeup off screen. It's like Survivor, you know, like he had like a 5-star hotel, like right off camera.
The motherfucker just, I don't know. How can you fall off a cliff, a literal cliff? Which again, he should have been way more fucked up on than he was. Yeah. But
he was
leaves, you know.
He rolled a 20 on that shit
in that exact scene. So like they all showed up and all that. I was like, I swear to fuck. When the little package thing just comes on down, right after I said it, I was like, more.
See, I thought that was funny. What made me laugh in that scene though was the like the two compies walk up and you think they're about to fuck with him, right? And then he like pops out of the water and scares them. I thought that shit was funny.
See, I saw that coming. Yeah. I was like, they're gonna walk over. He's gonna be like, oh, and they're like, oh shit.
I guess for me it was like, this is all so goddamn convenient.
Oh yeah, and then there just happens to be a path where all the other characters can be right here. Because I was like, oh, they're gonna split the party. There's gonna be something where he gets stranded and they got to find him, and he goes, nope, they're just right back together.
You know, see, what I thought would happen was
Rick and Morty forever. 11 seasons.
When they climbed down into the little cave mouth, Dude Bro probably dies, you know, whatever. But they get in there and they have to split up, and the two find the pathway that leads back up to the top, and they're like, whew, that shit was wild. Let's get out of here. You know?
Yeah. And not really. I'm ready to forget about this movie.
We will. By the time we talk to you guys again next week and review Superman, I guarantee you that I will have forgotten a significant portion of this movie.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is that at some point later on down the line, Kid was going to be like, hey, man, remember that last Jurassic Park movie? And I'd be like, man, I don't remember Dominion that well.
I'd be like, no, not that one. Wait.
If Dominion didn't have the original characters in it, it would just be Fallen Kingdom 2.
Yeah. Without the dinosaur auction and the weird monster in the house moments.
Yeah. I think I would have rather Duncan died.
So I kind of understand what you're saying. My thing is this though, like I even said this to you in the theater, like man, in 2025, it's okay for black people to survive sometimes.
No, I get that for sure. But if you're gonna sacrifice yourself, and it just doesn't.
I went back and forth a few times on it. Like I was like, was he really like, y'all have to kill me because I'm not doing another one of these fucking things? And then I was like, oh, he survived. When I saw the flare go around, I was like, oh, that's nice. That's a happy ending. And then
I wasn't upset about it, but I was like...
Well, when they pulled the boat back around and like they put the camera like right here and it's like dark behind him, I was like, oh no. Yeah. I was like, is the thing gonna like swoop down right now and bite him?
I literally leaned over to Ace and was like, all right, if I ever make a movie and the same kind of thing happens, I'm going to play the happy music and he's going to get Ace. And Ace is like, you just keep the music on. I was like, yeah, it's perfect.
And then they made it off with him. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, you know what? I don't care.
I'm not upset about it.
At this point in the movie, it's like, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, whatever you guys need to do to get me out of here. Yeah, let's wrap this shit up because I'll be honest, once the giant mutated creature shows up, I don't care anymore at that point.
And it should be a problem that thing is still alive, you know?
Yeah, anywhere. That thing, like, I'd be like, you know, I'm really against the whole billionaire stupid space race shit, but I'd be like, how quickly can you guys get me off this planet?
Yeah. I don't want to be on the same planet as that.
No, no.
Speaking of billionaire bullshit, I really hated their reason for the mutants to still be alive.
Oh, yeah, they're like, we need them for a write-off or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, would you have incinerated or would you just let it stay there?
I love his
Incinerate.
response to that. Where he was like, are we really talking about how to handle these mutated dinosaurs from a fucking accounting perspective?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, this dude sucks.
yeah.
I will give this movie a little bit of points on the fact that this is one of the few movies I've watched where evil mustache twirly guy does evil mustache twirly guy stuff behind the scenes, and then somebody in the movie calls him out on it a little bit. It's like, hey, that shit back there was a little weird. You fuck up again, we're leaving you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times during the beginning of this movie where they would have ScarJo try to be like sarcastic or bitchy, and it just didn't work. Like they almost expected her to like charm to make it funny, and it was just like it was really awkward that you said all that right there.
Yeah, a little bit. It was also weird how like in the beginning of the movie she just Batmans herself into his back seat.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, oh, cool. So Black Widow was just in this movie.
Yeah. And then she never displays any of that spy shit for the whole rest of the movie.
But the T-Rex does.
Yeah.
The T-Rex sure does. The only other thing she's displayed similar to that is when she did the slide slip down into the fucking
She
hole.
did that for 10 years straight as Black Widow.
Yeah.
It was just muscle memory. Just whoop, done.
Yeah. The only thing she didn't do is a superhero landing at the end.
Yeah.
Fucking that T-Rex doesn't have a D20. He has a coin. He has a success and a fail.
And he wrote heads for the stealth and then tails
for all
When
the
he
bites.
went to eat the boat, it landed straight.
He's like, man, that Harvey Dent motherfucker sold me this coin. He's
the-
like, okay, surely I can do this one. The DM will just give me this. I roll to pop the raft.
What the fuck?
What is this raft made out of?
Oh, shit.
The whole rest of the movie, I think I was like, what the fuck is that raft made out of?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very valid question. Oh, boy. I don't have anything else to say about this movie.
I don't think I do either.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, folks, we'll be back next week for, God, I hope a more upbeat review than this. Yes, when I say we, I mean like the main co-host. Thanks Dylan for being here tonight. Eventually we will have you on to review something nice.
You'll be on the...
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he was on the fucking Thunderbolts review. That was
Well, I wasn't having a great time.
for a different reason though.
Yeah. It was a great movie. It was a very fun movie.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was going to say. That distracted the shit out of me.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we don't know that's going to be good.
We don't.
No.
I think it has a good chance, but we don't know that's going to be good.
It's got a great chance of being the best Fantastic Four movie.
That's not a high bar.
It's like this had a good chance to be the best Jurassic World movie.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Oh. And it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that
If
it's
somebody
not.
told me that, this is better than World, I'd be like, God, all right.
All right, yeah.
I think the thing that would make me, like, if Fantastic Four outright sucks, that wouldn't make me nearly as mad as if it's like a solid 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, it's the best Fantastic Four, but this is still not good.
Yeah.
If it's just got Brave New World vibes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, okay, this is a movie about a thing you would want to see, but it's just not there.
Yeah.
You know? You're like, oh. I'd be so angry.
Right.
What you said, I think it was before the movie, definitely fits. It's like, I think I'd rather have a movie make me angry to a point than just nothing.
Yeah. Because if a movie makes me feel angry, at least it's a form of passion that I get to emote on the podcast. If I feel nothing, I got nothing.
Can you imagine if we had done a Last Jedi review like opening night? I would have just been sitting over here for the first half, silently, and then the last half.
We're gonna talk about the characters in the spoiler-free section. Caleb, you have any thoughts?
I'd just be like,
All right, moving on.
And then as soon as we get to the spoiler field section, I just go on a 30-minute solid rant without a breath or anybody else talking. You just like get up and go to the bathroom. Like,
has anybody ever left mid recording?
not for that reason.
Not for that reason.
No, I just meant like in general. I've just been like, oh, dude, I really gotta piss, like, or something.
Oh, we have both peed and come back during. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never peed and come back during.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You never, ever?
Never, ever.
Wow, I have
Never
like,
for
I
never,
think
ever?
twice I've been like,
think
my
I'm
options are pee in this chair or go.
You think I'm gonna trust y'all with the soundboard and shit? When I'm
We did a whole episode without you.
yeah, but I could have just erased that.
Yeah.
I didn't check. He could have erased it for all I know.
He definitely erased the part where I came up with Rule 11 because everyone there remembers.
Wait, could you not find it?
Look, the committee told me under no circumstances should there be an 11th commandment.
I fucking listened to that episode twice, and I can't find it.
Did we Mandela
assuming-
affect ourselves?
Yes.
I'm assuming that you guys sat down and bullshitted, and then
It was mid-recording.
Yeah, we literally
Look.
Mandela affected the fuck out of
Look,
ourselves.
I know my memory is not the best thing to do a testament on. I know this to be a fact.
Somebody turned on the Hadron Collider or whatever, like right as I said that shit, and we're in a reality that's just slightly off from.
Could we have been in one that's a
Well, here's
little
the
more
thing.
off?
In that case, I'm probably not your Q. Yeah, I'm the Q from this other dimension. Then,
I accept
because-
any cues.
Oh, I appreciate.
You're
that.
welcome, buddy.
Yeah, just because like I wasn't here for the 11th commandment, I'm just taking y'all's word for it.
You don't remember me throwing that Coke on you, right?
I don't.
And like,
But that's for your benefit. Though.
yeah, and I feel like you would remember that. So it actually is completely plausible that you're not my original Q, which explains why you asked me to be on the show.
It all tracks.
It all tracks. Yeah. Yeah, like when we were like 18, I ordered, we went to McDonald's. They were behind us, and I ordered an extra large Coke.
Was it me and Oz?
Yeah, it was you and Oz, because it was the Beretta. Otherwise, I would have been upset about messing up somebody's car. But in this instance, fuck it. So I ordered 2 large Cokes. I go to drink one of them, and the person driving me is just like, I guess he's just thirsty or whatever. And I was like, pull back around. So we pull around, and I launch this large Coke into the window of Oz's car where he is sitting.
Like windows down?
Yeah.
Because his car didn't have no fucking AC in it.
Yeah. So the windows were down. And so I just lobbed that shit into the car.
Questions?
Uh-huh.
Were you two friends at the time?
Yeah,
Were
sure.
you going through like a villain arc?
We knew each other back then.
Yeah. We actually hadn't known each other that long.
That somehow makes it worse.
Yeah, villain arc, maybe.
And here's the thing: like, I don't remember the instance. I'm assuming that I wasn't his target, but it's the fact that he didn't care about collateral damage
He's just like, eh.
yeah.
You would have had to know me back then to understand that I wouldn't have cared who I hit with it.
I have heard tell.
Yeah. I back then I was a lot more chaotic. So
Those aren't the words I've heard, but we'll go with it.
we're on air, so
Yeah.
I'm choosing that.
Okay. Well, speaking of being on air, I think it's about time for us to be off.
That's right.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah, this man got to go to bed.
Yeah, and
I
but
thought that said 7 hours for a minute. I was like, no.
yeah, a 7-hour review. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So let's review all the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh god. We already did
alright.
that during the.
We did. It was very short.
We ranked them.
Yeah. I've already given the Perfect Tens episode. I've already scored Jurassic Park with a 10. So here we are.
Well, homies, that's going to be all for this one. And we did manage to talk about Jurassic Park Rebirth some throughout this review.
More than I thought we
actually.
would.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were a lot more fun focused. Real quick, do we have a next throwbacks?
We were talking about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that we were going to have to go back to 2 a week for July. So, because we got to do Doomsday Clock, Ironheart, Superman, Fantastic Four. We really need to do a throwback this month. And then we got to catch up on all the comic news. So,
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be busy again.
yeah, we're going to be back to the busy.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
So, I mean, yeah, we have to plan the throwback sometime in July to go ahead and get one going.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't even know who's on that one.
It's mine.
Yeah, but I don't know who else is on it.
It's just me.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! We don't need to.
All right, it should be really easy to schedule then.
All right, homies. Before we go off onto another tirade,
Okay. For realsies this time, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Homies, thank you guys again for checking this out and for being such active listeners and participants in this podcast review extravaganza. We know how much you guys love dinosaurs and the like and the such. But that's going to be all for this. We will see you guys again very soon for Superman. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm superhero homie Caleb.
And I'm superhero homie Dylan.